right, my folks, good day, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching or listening to this is Mr. Al Pete with the MPN Network, the Neighbor's Way. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have another hitter that we're about to interview. Thomas Miles, a.k.a. Nephew Tommy. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
No, thanks for taking the time out for this. So, listen, I am not a comedian.
Okay.
I'm not a comedian, but I'm gonna say a joke. not a joke, but I was doing my research on you. Two things. One, did not know, out of all the years I followed you, did not know that you were Steve Harvey's nephew. Hence why.
How did you not know that?
I have no clue. And it's like, I'm gonna have to call my mom after this interview and be like, Mom, like, why didn't you school me on this or something? And I know y'all probably said it in passing and everything, but for some reason I just did not know. When I was doing my research, I'm like, how in the world did I not know that? But that is remarkable.
Yeah, so I was getting in trouble back in the day in my early years, man. I was getting in a lot of trouble, and I got sent to California to stay out of trouble. And he threw me on the radio, and everybody's like, "Who's this crazy kid on the radio with Steve?" That's his nephew. His nephew. That's his nephew. Yeah, that's his nephew. Nephew is Tommy, and it just started. I don't know how I got nephew in front of my name, but it became Nephew Tommy, and it's still stuck. Here we are, 20 plus years later, bro, still on the radio, and I'm out of trouble.
You out of trouble. Understood. And then the other thing that I want to mention, I saw that you are part of Kappa Alpha Psi, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I saw a picture last week when I was doing my research, and I know that Steve Harvey is Omega, but I was like, I got to tease him about this Kappa situation, being the fact that I am an Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So I was like, that's my little small joke as well.
Well, you know what, man? You know, everybody picks their own. Man, in college, my roommate was an Alpha. So, and being on a predominantly white campus, most, especially Black Greek organization, your roommate would normally be in the same fraternity you in. But
sure.
my buddy was an Alpha. We was buddies way before we were Greek. And my best friend is an Alpha. My uncle is a Q. So it just, it's enough to go around.
Oh yeah, for sure. Listen, I have a cousin that's a Kappa as well. Of course I have AKAs, so all of that. But with all that being said, respects to the whole D9 organization, because I feel like we're all one, especially in a lot of the situations that we're dealing with. So
that we're dealing with right now, because we're dealing with a lot right now, man. So I'm hoping that we can collectively pull together and get through some of the obstacles that we're looking at, because we facing some. I don't know. If we don't tighten up, we're gonna lose it. We're gonna lose it all.
Absolutely, I totally agree on that. So, all right, with all that out of the way,
when did you pledge though? I got to at least ask that.
21. I'm still fresh in. I'm going on year 4. Fresh, yeah. Still fresh. So
take a guess then. Tell me, when would you say you think Tommy pledged?
Okay, I would say in the 90s.
That's close. 86.
Okay, 86. Okay.
Yeah.
So you in there. You well in there.
I'm in that ooh-wee area.
Well, I'm in the infant stages for sure, but I've enjoyed this journey.
That's good.
Thank you.
Welcome to the D9, baby.
Thank you. I truly appreciate it, and all respects to you for the legacy that you have established for sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, so real quick, let's get into the show that's coming up in Jacksonville, Florida, April 19th. Evening with Nephew Tommy and Friends. It's going to be at the Florida Theater. So I noticed in the bio it stated that never before seen event. Please talk to me about that. Like you don't have to give everything, but the never before seen has been dubbed. So talk to us about that.
You know what, man? It's I think it all stems from the journey, what I've been through, what I've gone through. I don't know if you read up on me as much here lately on what I've gone through, but I battled thyroid cancer, in August of 2022. And went through surgery, got my thyroid completely removed. No radiation, no chemotherapy. I am 100% cancer free. So an evening with Nephew Tommy, you're getting a story, you're getting a journey, and it's all wrapped up in comedy at the same time. So I think that's what they mean when they say this is something different. That's something that you haven't seen before.
Definitely, man. And I did watch that interview with Bill Bellamy, and you mentioned the cancer situation. So congratulations on overcoming that, and
thank you, brother.
Just dealing with that situation. That health is very, very, very important, especially for like a thyroid. Like, when you're using this for comedy, you're using this for when you're on the radio. You're using this for your show, Ready to Love, everything.
My voice is how we eat, man. That's how me and my family eat, is my voice. So it hit me right in the center, bro. So to be able to come back from that, nothing but God, nothing but a blessing.
Indeed. So talk to me about your feelings on touring, the comedian, the doing comedy and stuff like that. Do you feel excited about it, or?
I like it. I still love it. I still have the passion for it. Mm-hmm. I love being able to get up there and just do what I do, and not only that, just bringing awareness to, like we're talking now, like bringing awareness to cancer, and here I am doing it in with laughter wrapped around it. So I think that's the clever and the creativity of being able to say, man, I'm gonna take a dark situation and turn it into laughter, but at the same time, I get people to put their eyes on it and start thinking about their health, and that's the good part. I think all of us that are comedians, man, we're such passionate about what we do, and even you got to think about, even in the climate that we're in right now. You're in a climate right now where they're saying you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't do that, you can't talk about that. So to be able to maneuver and still step on those still talk about those subjects, but be just so clever that you can go in and come out of it and nobody's upset with you at all. You might have a few people upset, but for the masses, you're getting a message to it all at the same time. So that's what I like about it. It's still challenging, and I think that's what's great about it, is when you hit the stage, you don't know what's going to happen. You know what you're bringing to them, but at any second, things could turn. But the delivery, baby, it's all about the delivery.
Indeed. I think about comedians often about the climate of not being able to talk about certain things.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I'm thinking 90s, early 2000s, where everything was still pretty cool to like joke about. But these days, people are so sensitive. So, it's just a very sensitive subject about everything. You can't even talk about bananas and oranges, and everybody get offended. So.
There is a line. There is a line that they have drawn, but you know what? We as comedians, we know how to dance on that line. We might step over it a little bit, step right back. You got to know how to dance on that line. But yeah, I'm not scared of the line. I ain't scared of the line. I'm finna say what I want to say. Some of it you're gonna get it. From a man that's 57 years old that's still doing stand-up comedy, you're gonna get. Why would I come bring it to you? I can't give it to you.
For sure.
I got to be able to give it to you. I got to be able to say what's on my mind. You're paying your ticket to come see me and get my perspective and my point of view. So I can't sugarcoat my point of view because I'm, somebody's, we can't talk about white sugar no more. Why? We got to be able to talk. Whatever we want to discuss, we got to be able to discuss it.
Indeed. So let's go back to one of the pillars that got you, that you're famous for in regards to the pranks. Yep. So that's you already go into it with the listen, we having a good time, I don't care, whatever the case may be. But like to the art of having those prank calls is like, I don't know, it's been funny for so many years. So
let me tell you why there's so many. Let me tell you why so many exist. When I first started, Steve said, I want you to do it. I showed him, the story is this, is that I was hanging out with Ricky Smiley and some other comedians. Ricky had brought us into his hometown in Birmingham and said, hey, we're going to do a compilation CD. He said, I want each comedian to do one prank. And we hung out the whole weekend. We all did this one prank. I get back to LA, and Steve said, what you doing down there with Ricky? What was all y'all doing up there? And I said, we was doing this compilation CD, man. And I said, it was pretty cool. I said, I did a prank call. He said, you did a prank call? I said, yeah. He said, let me hear it. So he heard the prank, and then he says, that's what I want you to do. I said, what? He said, I want you to do a prank for the radio show, and let's see how it works. And man, I did a prank, home run. He said, I want one for every day, Monday through Friday. I was like, nah, dude. I said, you know how many people hung up on me? He said, I don't care. He said, I don't care. I want one every day, Monday through Friday. So keep in mind, I go in the studio. When we get through doing radio, I would go do 2-3 more hours in the studio with the board op, and we getting prank calls, you know? So imagine for 4-5 years, every day I just been doing that. So now you look back, I got a library of over 300 prank calls, man. So back then, people really didn't know my voice. I could get them. Now,
they're looking for you. They're looking for you. They can tell before you even start talking.
unless you call and immediately jump into something that they are passionate about, they may not recognize it. Especially when you call people about their kids, and you're already in the middle of it. You may even be hostile about it. Their mind is already, oh no, what's wrong with my baby? What's wrong with my baby? And that's how you can get them, even though they may have heard my voice 1,000 times. You got to catch them off guard.
Right. Let me ask this: did the pranks and you doing that with this repetition, did that add to your stand-up comedy? Kind of make you stronger in regards to that tip?
Yeah, you're quicker because you got to think on your feet, because you got a call on the line and you can't mess the call up. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. We still got you've been in the studio radio. You do radio. You know, we got a cough button and a mute button. So if you bent over cracking your side, at least I got that button so I don't mess up this prank call. And it gives me a time to hit mute and talk to my board op, and he's telling me, say this. All right, come on, let's keep going. So yeah, I got a little bit of a button that helps me cheat a little bit.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of not pranks, but more so like loved ones and stuff like that, I want to talk about 2 more things, and I'll let you go. But the show Ready to Love, and this is season 11, correct? Or we're still in season 10?
Yeah, it's still in season 10 right now.
Okay. What made you get into this lane of being in the show? Like you're doing acting, radio show comedian, now this prominent host, because everybody loves dating shows. And this one definitely stands out a little more different than the other dating shows, which I'm not necessarily a dating show person, but I will watch Ready to Love because it seems more structured. And I respect you in regards to like your knowledge and what you're pouring into the situation. So what made you get into that part?
This was a godsend, man. Man, I'm a country boy out of Texas, man. I'm real. I'm not one of those guys that flaunt this and flaunt that. I'm better than this, I'm better than that. So, when you meet Hollywood people, when I first got to LA, I started realizing like there's some fake people out here, man. There really is some fake people out here. I ain't used to that. So I met Will Packer, and Will Packer said, "Yeah, man, we're gonna work together one day. We're gonna do something." And you hear that, you take that with a grain of salt, and maybe. So then he calls me. He sends me a text message, and he says, "Hey, man," and it's a link of he just been granted 2 shows on the OWN network. So I'm congratulating him, like, "Yo, good job, man. Keep your head up, baby. Keep winning. And he said, no, I don't think you understand. He said, I want you to host this show, Ready to Love. And then I started texting back. I said, dude, if you pranking me, man, this ain't cool, dog. This is not a good prank call. And he was like, no, Tommy. He said, you and your wife been together for I don't know how many years. And he said, man, you are the perfect person for that. And it just, as I joined I don't know how many years ago it's been now. It just felt like a perfect fit. All I did was be real, bring my true relationship experience. My mother and father, they were married until my dad passed away in 2015. Me and my wife been together coming up on 24 years now. So
Congratulations.
all I know about marriage and relation is sticking together and riding it out. I don't know nothing about divorce. I don't know nothing about walking away, leaving. Dude, I don't know nothing about that. All I know about is we're gonna ride this thing out, and we're gonna be here till the wheels fall off. And I think that's what's helpful is I can bring that to the show for all of these people that are contestants that are trying to find love. I can lend them my past experience on how me and my wife got to where we are and how we each day keep pushing for more.
Yeah, and I think it's good too, being the fact that it's in the age range of the 30s and the 40s. So it's interesting to see it from that angle. It's almost like, the playing years are over with, and then,
there you go. There you go.
It's like, okay, well, I'm settled in my career, I'm settled in whatever my lifestyle is going to be, but then to see these people at this age go through these motions is fine. And then I think not even think, I know you're a perfect fit. It is when you talking to people, like, you can just tell that, you're so authentic with it. So, and you fit very well in that position. So it's cool to see you in that spot, as well as, the other avenues that you're facing, that you're in. But the hosting part it's pretty cool.
I appreciate it.
No problem. And the last thing, and real quick, let me do a quick reset. I'm here with Nephew Tommy. He's going to be here. Nephew Tommy and Friends, April 19th, 2025 at the Florida Theater, Jacksonville, Florida. Show starts at 8 p.m. Guest comedian will be Jesse McDonald. Please make sure you get your tickets. The link will be in the bio. But make sure you grab those tickets now, all right?
Easter weekend, baby.
Indeed. So get your extra suit and be clean like Nephew Tommy be. Nephew Tommy be clean, y'all. Let me you don't play about that wardrobe either, good sir. I see that. I see the wardrobe.
Bring it.
Indeed. So last thing I wanted to talk about, I want to congratulate you on your humanitarian award with the Gatsby Showcase Foundation. And this is from your foundation, Miles of Giving. It's created to assist wounded veterans. Can you talk about that and that honor? That's a highly big honor.
It was man, to be honored is always a privilege. First and foremost, it's always a privilege. But man, this one was different for me. They caught me off guard. I wasn't looking for it, and it just lets me know that my foundation, was a good thing to set up when I set it up. And it's like, for those that don't know, Miles of Giving, I give back to wounded warriors. But the way it came about was I went over to perform for the troops. So I went to Saudi, I went to Afghanistan, I went to Germany, Kuwait, and to go over and see the troops, man, was amazing to me. But then I also went and visited hospitals, and let me just paint the picture for you. It's me, it's Robert Ory, Minka Kelly, who was what's the name of that show? Friday Night Lights, one of those football shows, and then Jordan Sparks, from American Idol.
Okay.
And we were the entertainment that went over. So I tell everybody I was like the Black Bob Hope, performing for the troops. And it was exciting, man. It was fun to travel and everything. But I think the genuine part is when we would go to these hospitals and meet these soldiers, men and women, man, who are on the front line. You never know what the front line looked like till you go over there. And we were in this gentleman's room, and he was just coming out of surgery, and his legs had just been blown off, man.
Wow.
And he was just coming out of surgery. He was just waking up, and we were standing around him when he was waking up, and he started talking to us, and he says, "Hey, I'd love to take pictures with you all, but I got to get back to my men. I got to get back." And we're standing there, man, with tears running down our face, like, yo, this guy don't know his legs been blown off. He has no idea. He's steady telling us, I got to get back to my man. I got to get back to my man. So I asked some of the soldiers, I'm like, hey, when he get back to the States, what's going to happen to him? They're going to take care of him, right? And they was like, yeah. But, you have to go through the system. I say, the system? I say, how long that take? Because when you get back, you're going to need some assistance immediately.
Right.
So that's when I created Miles of Giving, Well, I may only be able to give you $1,500 or a couple $1,000, but you'll be surprised how far that goes when we talking about right now. So I wanted to be the foundation that it was about right now. So man, I give back to wounded warriors, and then also now after I've come through this whole cancer deal, now I put that under the umbrella as well, and now I try to give, what I call a ribbon of the month, where we give $500 to $1,000 to somebody that's going through cancer, because everybody don't have good insurance or insurance that's going to take care of you through the whole journey.
Yeah,
man. Bonds of giving, baby. We give back.
Listen, wow, that's awesome. That's definitely awesome, and that wow.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the way you just explained it was just beautiful. So I want to thank you for your service in doing something like that. I mean, for real, being intentional with that, man, and thinking about people. Just the philanthropy aspect of it is just beautiful, and I appreciate you doing that. And I'm sure the people that are benefiting from this appreciate it as well. So congratulations again on getting that award, that prestige award.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, sir. Well, listen, I appreciate you. I'm not going to hold too much of your time. Thank you so much for taking the time to interview with me. Please let the people know where they can find you at or where they can follow you.
Okay, the Nephew Tommy EXP, the Nephew Tommy EXP. That's my IG. Or if you go to my website, thomasmiles.com, then you can hit every social media outlet and see what I'm doing. You can check out my dates, the whole 9 yards. And hey, baby, Jacksonville, Florida. Stupid is on the way. Stupid only come around once every 5-6 years. And it's on its way to Jacksonville at the Florida Theater. So y'all be ready, man. It's going down Easter weekend. I might even have an Easter egg hunt. That's right, I can't. The eggs are too doggone high. It's impossible to do.
Man, you better find some M&M peanuts and substitute them. Because you're right, about them eggs is terrible.
The eggs ain't no joke, baby.
Indeed. Well, listen, let me close out real quick. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. Please make sure you grab your tickets April 19th. Nephew Tommy and Friends. 8 p.m. Get them tickets right now at the Florida Theater, y'all.
Yay.